Fremantle on the agenda.
Yeah, and the vision we've just shown with Collingwood and Geelong, who want to play fast footy, make quick decisions, well, this is the complete opposite. And I guess this is why the coach is under enormous pressure. And we just want to show some vision on what that looks like and what happens when you play this way. So just have a look at the gap in the game. We showed the other two teams. Tracy's trying to slow the game down here. I'm not sure why, because this 10 seconds allows St Kilda to get so organised behind the ball. They get the players where they want, in the positioning that they want, and they get to outnumber where they want. Everything by choice for St Kilda. So you've got to threaten. This is just way too slow. I mean, you look at the way they move the ball. It's not conducive to allowing them to score. And what it does do, it sucks the energy out of the runners. No one's creating an option. No one's really running because they know they're not going to get used instantly. You take a great contested mark long down the line and still no one runs because they know they're not getting used. So it takes... I think this system has taken the gas out of how they want to play, the excitement, the flair, the point of difference. They've got difference makers in this line. They're out the other side again. Away and go. You're there. You're ready to go. No, pull back. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Don't trust the one-on-one long down the line. Don't trust those that pinch. Look, 6 metres gap at AFL level is AFL open. You've got to be able to hit that. If you're a half-back flanker worth his salt, you've got to pull the trigger here and you've got to hit Hayden Young on the wing. He is out. He is AFL open. You hit that, you're away. You can start the leapfrog effect. But because they don't, they're 18th in the competition for their ball speed and their non-scoring change. When they go quick by hand, they're top 3 or 4. So the gap between the two modes is stark. I just wish that they would back Tracy in that one-on-one. Turn, see it, kick to advantage side and get the numbers there. They've got the talent to do it, Joey. I just think that they need a significant shift in the way they're playing at the moment. We're only 8 weeks in. There's still plenty of time. There's still time to adjust and change and just shift the responsibilities a little bit. Maybe play some aggressive ball users off half-back or just give these guys the green lights. Because right now, this is self-defeating. Yeah,
they've got to not be afraid to make mistakes sometimes and just be able to pull the trigger. Like that very first clip you showed where Luke Jackson was on a one-on-one. They waited, then eventually they kicked him anyway and he had to take a pack mark. So why not trust him in the one-on-one situation the first 3 seconds rather than wait 7 or 8?
Josh Tracy is a star in our competition. So why wouldn't you want to get the ball to him as quick as you possibly can and challenge anyone in the comp to beat him?
Well, it's a shift in mindset, and it's a shift in licence. So it's Justin saying, go for it. If we're going to turn it over, we turn it over, but we've got to go for it. And the contrast between what you showed and how Geelong moved the ball and how fast, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, and this is the reason why their attack's rated so low at AFL 14, because it's a ball movement game now. I mean, you can be brilliant at clearance and contest and you can win that way, but it's a hard way to win. You need another asset, another component, and if you can't really shift and go, you're going to have to make up for it elsewhere.
Joey, let's have a look at the clearance game, blanket approach across the AFL.
Yeah, I just thought at round 8 we'd do a bit of a stock take and have a look at what matters in 2025. And it was interesting when I take a look at the numbers that how important actually this season, it's more so than any other year, is winning clearance in 2025. Because if you take a look at the numbers, so this is if you win the effective clearance battle. So not just clearances, but winning effective clearances. The average for the previous 4 years was about you'd win 2 in 3 games. At the moment, it's almost 80% of games you win if you can win this facet of the game. It is significant. And when you take a look actually over the last 5 years, the percentage of scores coming from stoppages is slowly on the increase year on year.
Centre bounce?
Centre bounce as well, yep. And stoppages are around the ground. So it is becoming a more important facet of the game when it was always been about turnover. So we just thought, well, let's take a look at who are the top 5 teams at effective clearance differential. And it's no surprise they're 5 pretty good teams that everyone are thinking are going to be there when the whips are cracking. Now, the 2 names that probably aren't on that list, Geelong and Hawthorn, are only average for the clearance differential, but they're elite scoring off it. So they're more of a quality over quantity team in regards to winning clearance, but you could still say it's a strength of theirs because they are top 4 scoring off it. So it gives you 2 opportunities when you win clearance by these sorts of numbers. Obviously, more chance to score off the back of winning clearance or field position, where you can then either lock the ball in, get some repeat turnovers or forward half turnovers, and that's 2/3 of your score right there. So it's really interesting just to keep an eye on as the year progresses, whether these teams can keep it up or whether some other teams need to improve, because when you then take a look at, well, who's dropped off in this area? The big one is Port Adelaide, because this was a strength of theirs for the last 3 years. They were a top 6 team at being able to win clearance. It was their strength. They've gone pear-shaped. They would win clearance, played in their forward half, and that was an absolute weapon of theirs. But at the moment, it's horrible. It is 17th in the competition. it's dropped right away. And I'm just looking at him thinking, well, it's the same names. Wines, Drew, Butters has been back for 5 weeks, Horn Francis, they've moved Rosie, but they're just at the moment not tough enough in there. They're not getting it done. So I think there needs to be a change. And I did the game down in Ballarat last week, and I saw something that happened late in the game once it was all dead and buried, but it was Sam Powell-Pepper going back on ball. Now, this was a role that he played years ago, and we'll take a look at the vision. He'd only been in 4 centre bounces for the year prior to this game, but I just looked at his energy and the way that he crashes and bashes and thought, you know what, I wonder if there's a chance now to get him and his physicality back around the footy. It means they can afford to leave Connor Rosie at half-back if that's what they want to do, but they've got to find a way to get their clearance game back and going because it is their weapon, it is their strength. And if they don't, they're going to really struggle. So we know their ball movement off half-back this year is nowhere near what it was. Without Dan Houston, it's dropped away. But I just think this is a guy, when you think about some other changes teams have made, he's a brute. He's got aggression. Their small forward stocks are okay. Willie Rioli, Joe Richards is down there, and they've got some forwards as well that can hit the scoreboard. But I think this is maybe something they should look at, Kingy, and see if they can just get tougher in there and try and get more ball going forward.
And he brought that energy in his 150th game, Joey, down there at Ballarat, and the energy was in the front half, and he was bringing it, and then they were coming up against the Doggies, who had the strongest midfield, and Treloar comes back into that, couldn't even squeeze in. That's how strong they were, but it took too long to put him in there.
So he went in 6 centre bounces on the weekend. He only been in 4 for the whole year. I just like to see it more, particularly in a showdown that's going to be fiery against an Adelaide Crows team who are pretty good at stoppage, and they've got numbers that can roll through there. Port just need to find another avenue.
It's interesting conversation, the effective clearance discussion, because I just think our midfielders, and this is the top tier, the top bracket of midfielders, have lost that violence in close. The fend with aggression, the absolute drive out of an exit, finding an exit and going, getting out and then playing from there. I think some of our top-tier players have lost that. We were going to highlight a few.
Cripps is one of them.
Starting to lift the ball.
Is there a fear of holding the ball?
There is.
Yeah.
And even the lift now is lost. I mean, we talked about Luke Davies-Uniacke last week, same thing again on the weekend against the Bombers. They got stripped a few times dropping the ball. You've got to get your violence back and work your way from here to the outside. And it's something we'll track over the next couple of weeks.
Joey, it's time for...
It's time for... Oh, yes, I'll tell you what, good one.
I should have let you in.
I just thought Norman King was going to be next. It's time for... I tell you what it's time for.
You're on a roll, brother.
It's time for someone... I'd say it's time for someone to stop Patrick Dangerfield. Yes. We know about how this guy is absolutely humming the last 6 weeks. But... I think the GWS Giants have the perfect man to stop Patrick Dangerfield.
Who is that?
The perfect man.
The perfect man.
They have a bloke that is the same size as him. He's physical.
What?
He's as aggressive. He's as quick. And it's Connor Iden. Connor Iden is having a sneaky good year. We were talking about sneaky good years. King, if you take a look, we'll have a look at some of his but I'll show you some numbers in a moment. I think this is a guy that plays a lockdown role on these medium types. Has he got the athleticism and size to go with danger? I know not many do, but I reckon this guy is one. And he's having an elite year. He's top 10 in the comp for intercept possessions. I'll show you some numbers in a moment. He has not been beaten by any opponent that he's played on.
Wow.
And he's played on a mix of them. I can't wait for this. I think he's going to put the blanket on danger. I'm either going to have egg on my face or I'm going to look like a genius. Because here are some of the matchups this year. He's absolutely put blokes to sleep, and different types. So Higgins, those 2 goals were in real late junk time and the game was dead and buried. He's only had 7 goals kicked on him for the year. He played on Walker and Curtin. He put Hayward to sleep despite the loss on the weekend. He's going to go to Dangerfield. Let's see if he can slow him down.
Modern day Modra here is Dangerfield.
Let's see if he can slow him down.
Now, Paddy, you know what to do from here, mate.
Hey, Connor.
You know how this finishes.
Connor, you know what to do. Just keep doing what you've been doing all season.